Yes, Jai Gurudev children. Beta, in last period we have completed till 7.2 question number 5th. We were learning the chapter Introduction to Algebra. Okay. Now today beta we are and I am hoping that everybody of you have completed and understood up to there. That is, and it is necessary that you see the video on the same day and complete your chapters till there. Okay. In every day. Don't collect the work that you will do in one day, and then in this way you will not be able to understand. Now come to the beta question number 6. I am reading the question. Keep your book with you so that you may understand the chapter in a easy way. The two equal sides of an isosceles triangle are taken as a centimeter, and the third side is taken as b centimeter. You know that isosceles triangle means a triangle in which two sides are equal. Okay. Isosceles means two. Equilateral means all the three sides are equal. है ना? और scalene types of triangle you have learned in class 4th and 5th. Okay. And scalene triangle means in which all the three sides are different to each other. Okay. And the third side is taken as b centimeter. Unequal side is b centimeter. Find the perimeter of the triangle. Okay, beta. See that question number 6. Okay. Suppose this is an isosceles triangle. Okay. According the question, two sides are of a centimeter and one side is b centimeter. A, B, C. Okay. Let the equal sides of isosceles triangle are AB is equal to a centimeter, AC is equal to a centimeter, and BC we have given as b centimeter. Okay, you know that perimeter of triangle. Perimeter of triangle is equal to sum of all sides. Sum of all sides. Okay, beta. So sum of all sides means how you will write that? AB plus BC plus AC. AB is how much? A. BC is B and AC is again A. Okay. So in this way you will write, and it will be in centimeter. If it is given centimeter, so all the sides will be in centimeter. So if you will add them, all them will be centimeter. So A plus A will become 2A plus B, and this will be as your perimeter. So it's so simple, you can do the question very easily. Okay, one same question I am framing for you. I am giving you as your homework. Write that question. If the equal sides of an isosceles triangle are as x centimeter and the third side is taken as y centimeter, find the perimeter of the triangle. So this question you will do in your homework, and don't write that in the same way that homework. Homework is your duty to do that. Okay. So this will be your homework question. Same question I am going framing you so that you can do and practice them. Beta, next question is that if question number 7, each side of a regular decagon measure a centimeter. Regular means beta the figure in which all the sides are equal. Deca means 10 sides will be there. Find the perimeter of the decagon. First of all, you just write the types of, before doing this question you write that types of triangles. triangles. It is each regular decagon. Okay, write the polygon. Types of polygon. Types of polygon. Okay, polygon means a figure bounded by the line segment. Okay, here in this question, because this thing is coming, tri means beta 3, quadrilateral means 4 sides. Okay, penta means 5, hexa means 6 sides. Okay, then hepta means 7 sides. Here sides, hepta. Octa means 8 sides. Nona means 9 sides, and deca means 10 sides. So you just write all these things somewhere in your figure, in your book or in your copy. Regular means types of polygon, or we are discussing for regular. Regular means equal sides. Regular means a figure having equal sides. Okay, for regular 3 sides, its perimeter will be 3 into sides. Okay, for quadrilateral, for regular figure we are discussing here. For quadrilateral means 4 sides, so 4 into sides will be its perimeter. We are discussing now perimeter. These are perimeters now. Okay, beta. So for 5 sides, 5 into sides will be as its perimeter. For 6 sides figure, 6 into sides. Okay. For 7 sides, 7 into side. For 8, 8 into side. Then for 9, 9 into side. And for 10, 10 into side will be the figure of a regular polygon. Okay. Now see that beta, we have to given a figure which is decagon. Decagon means beta, now see that question number 7. Okay. You have to given if each side of a regular decagon measure 8 centimeter. Okay. How you will do? Side of regular decagon is equal to how many? 8 centimeter. Okay. So perimeter of regular decagon is equal to what will be? 10 into side. 10 into side. It means 10 into side is how much beta? A. And what it will become? 10A centimeter. And this will be as your answer. So in this way you will do the question. See that beta, in question number 8, what is the perimeter of a regular pentagon? So pentagon means 5 sides. So what it will become? 5 into side. This time what is the measure of the side is A in question number 8. So it will become 5A. Okay. You will do by the method as I have done. For regular hexagon, hexa means how many sides? 6 sides. So what will be its perimeter? 6 into sides. 6 into A. It will become 6A. Okay. In this way, question number 8 you will complete yourself. Okay, because I have taught you that how we will write the means according to the number of sides what will be their perimeters. Okay, now we are moving to the beta question number 9 now. Beta, see that now question number 9. In a school the total number of students is 1200. If the total number of boys is X, what is the total number of girls? First of all, you just take the example of your class. In your class, total number of students are 37. Out of them, 20, just wait, Out of them, 15 are girls. How many girls are there? 15. So, can you calculate the number of boys from your class? How you will do? You just subtract 37 minus 15. 7 minus 5, 2. 3 minus 1, how many boys will be in your class? 22. Okay, in this way we can calculate its number, total number of strength we have from the class. Easily we can calculate number of boys. Suppose number of boys are given, boys are given to us, then number of girls we can calculate. If number of girls are given to us, number of boys we can calculate. Now come to this question, beta. Okay, see that what is the question, that number of boys is equal to x, total number of student is equal to 1200, number of girls will be, so you will do that, number of girls is equal to number of girls is equal to what it will be, what we have done, from total we have subtracted, so total students minus number of boys, minus number of boys. The procedure is same as we are doing in arithmetic. Okay, so see that beta, total number of students are how many? 1200. How many girls or boys are there? Minus x. So what it will become? Number of girls. Number of girls. So this will be your answer. So no need to write further that, because from 1200 we cannot subtract x. So this will be in algebraic form. It is algebraic equation, algebraic expression. I taught you in the beginning of the topic. So it will be your answer directly. Okay. Some children are writing like that 1200x. Beta, in case of minus or plus, it can be written in the same way, whatever it is coming. Only in case of multiplication we can write that. Okay. Now come to the question number 10. See that now what is the question number 10? For the morning, 7 students stand in a row. For the morning, 7 students standing in a row. How many students will stand in n rows? Okay. Suppose beta, in your school, in every row, first of all try to understand the question. Suppose in every row 8 students are standing. Okay, and how many rows are there? Suppose 12 rows are there. So what will be the total number of students? You will multiply that. In every row 8 students will be there. Okay, so how you can do? 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, like that 12 rows will be there. Okay, 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12. You are having two methods to calculate it. Whether you add all these 8 or whether what you will do, 8 multiply by, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in this way you will get the strength. Maybe everybody of you are getting that. Okay, now come to the question. What is given to you in this question? For morning, 7 students standing in a row. So in one row, number of students is equal to, how many students beta? 7. So in how many students will stand in n rows? In example I have taken 12 rows. Okay, in this question, because this is algebra, so one variable value will be there. So in n rows, in place of 12 now n is there. In n rows, number of students is equal to, number of students is equal to, what I told, that multiply this 7 by, where we have multiplied 12, here you will multiply it by n. So what it will become beta? 7n students. What it will be? 7n students. Okay. In arithmetic we are getting multiplication, but in algebra we further multiplication we can't get. This will be as your answer. Now what is saying? Find the number of students in 7 rows B, 10 rows C, or 12 or now beta see that still the answer has not completed. We discussed that n rows are there. If okay, suppose these are n rows. In one row 7 students were there. how many rows are there? We don't know. Like that, many more rows are there up to n. So how many students will be? 7 n students. Okay. Now see that A part. If in 7 rows, number of students, number of students. Okay. So beta, this time we have given 7 rows. In one row number of students are 7, and how many rows are there this time? Means in place of n, this time we have to given 7 now. So how many students will be given beta? How many students will be there? 49 students. Okay. So see that in B part, how many rows? 10 rows are there. Okay. 10 rows. In one row, how many students? 7 students. Okay. Now in 10 rows, number of students is equal to 7 into 10. 7 10 ja 70 students. 70 students. Okay. So C part 12 rows. You will do in your homework. So I am not going to do that question. Okay. So in this way beta, your exercise, it was exercise 7.2. Okay. 7.2 has completed. Now we are going to do few questions from exercise 7.3 also. See that beta. Now question number exercise 7.3, and some properties are given to you, and we have to identify that which are these properties. You have learned these properties in your earlier chapters. Okay. I taught you all these properties in chapter number 2. Okay. While we were doing, these properties are written with you. You can open your copies in chapter number 2, and all the properties you will get there. Okay beta. Now see that A plus B is equal to B plus A. What is this property? This is the commutative property for addition. Okay. This is as commutative property of addition. So I am identifying them. You can also identify them. A into B plus C is equal to A into B or plus A into C. What is this? This is as distributive property of over addition. Okay. Second is beta C part, and that is known as the A into B is equal to B into A. Commutative property of multiplication. Because they are coming in the form of algebra, that's why this property is given to you to identify them. A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B or plus A plus C. What is this? Associative property. For addition. Property for addition. Okay. Now A into B minus C is equal to, it is same as A into B plus C. So it is distributive property over subtraction. Distributive property over subtraction. Okay. And last one, A into B into C is equal to A into B into A into C. You can see that this is same like that. Only multiplication is there. So what is this? Associative property for multiplication. So beta, in this way the question number first of exercise 7.3 we have completed, and we are going to complete today only till this question. From next question from this exercise we will discuss in the next video. Till that, thank you and Jai Gurudev to all of you.